the Epstein List came out. And as many of you mentioned, you did see Mike and I's name on it. And we're here to explain that we were just kind of early in Hollywood career. That we, of course, our illustrious Hollywood career that we're broadcasting to you live now from the Slam Magazine headquarters in Long Island City. Because nothing says Hollywood like Long Island City. So some of the biggest name, one of the most fun names on the list was David Copperfield. Yeah. I like that, just doing magic tricks. But you got to understand, I don't think just because you were on this list doesn't mean you're necessarily a ped.
No,
right?
And I think actually a lot of the names that you didn't recognize were just people that worked there.
Yes.
Or just regular ass people that were kind of in and out, didn't know what was going on. I mean, there are some heavy hitters on there for sure.
Michael Jackson, Alan Dershowitz was on it. But again, we don't know. So what? You flew to the island, doesn't mean anything. The thing about Stephen Hawking and the midgets, what is up with that?
I mean, dude, is there anything better than an astrophysicist? I think that's what he is. An astrophysicist, genius, whatever he is, just immobile. He looks like Krang from fucking Ninja Turtles. But just seeing him melting into his own shoulder, just watching and half giggling to midgets solving equations on a chalkboard that's a little too high.
Yeah.
That is just good stuff.
Good stuff. It is. Listen, pedophile Jeffrey Epstein offered rewards to disprove claims Stephen Hawking took part in orgy. So you're saying that this is article saying that Epstein was saying that Stephen Hawking didn't take part in this midget orgy.
Yeah, he was trying to. He had his buddy Stephen Hawking's back.
Okay,
he was like, "You guys are putting a lot of disrespect on Stephen Hawking's name. He had nothing to do with the orgies."
Right. Okay, so the Stephen Hawking midget thing has been around for a long time. I didn't know anything about it.
But he's like a relative coxman. Didn't he cheat on his wife
twice?
Twice. Okay, good for him.
And neither of them were like him.
Yeah.
They weren't, they were
neither of them had the body of a seahorse.
They were normal.
I mean, I would, given the opportunity, I would blow Stephen Hawking.
Why wouldn't you?
Why wouldn't you, dude? Seriously.
Just to see what you could learn.
Not everything is classified as gay. Some of the things just again, we're talking about experiences. Give your wife the experience of having sex with Stephen Hawking.
If the vaccine can change our DNA, a load from Stephen Hawking's can as well.
Seriously.
Are you surprised he could get hard?
Does he have a pump?
I guess yes, because you would think with ALS, which is an upper motor neuron disorder.
Right.
Do you know what ALS does to you?
That
amyotrophic lateral sclerosis. It's actually terrifying. You talked about neurons. Okay?
Yeah.
So the myelin sheath, think about it like this. The myelin sheath around each of your neurons is like a car. Mm-hmm. And your neurons are like the highway. The myelin sheath is the car, and the neurons are like the highway. What amyotrophic lateral sclerosis, ALS, does, Lou Gehrig's disease, what Stephen Hawking had and died of, is it basically starts to disintegrate the sheaths, and you don't have a car to drive along the neuron pathway to get to your brain. So you'll start to say, move my hand, which I can just immediately do. And your brain will be like, I don't have the car to get to the neuron to tell your brain, to tell your hand to move. So you just stop moving. And then eventually you die when your lungs, myelin sheath neurons say, now you don't breathe anymore.
So you're just standing on the side of the brain highway with a stick and a handkerchief waiting for a car to pick you up so you can move your finger.
That's it, dude.
That sucks.
And it slowly but surely almost always kills you. What happened to Stephen Hawking is he got it. He was like the very, very rare breed of person that it stopped, but it didn't. It stopped eventually, but it stopped when it had already completely paralyzed him.
Yeah, they're like, we'll stop once we turn you into a bass cleft.
Yes. So
some musician really will like that out there.
Now listen, Jeffrey Epstein's private Caribbean island, it's now transformed into a luxury resort. Do you have an issue going there with the wife and kids? I don't.
No.
Especially if it's affordable. If I can get a nice price on that, if we can just go on Expedia and get a nice price, I would do that.
Do you know what I'd like to do? I'd like to go there, take a heavy dose of mushrooms, and see if I can hear the screams.
Yeah. Yes.
You know what I mean?
Connect. And you know what else, too? It's like, what do you think, dude? You think when you go to Disney World, the kid's never been raped there?
Right.
Of course they have.
No, buy Goofy.
Exactly, dude. So it's like wherever you go, It's like you don't know the history of every place you go. We just know the history of this, but it's like it happens everywhere at all times, always.
I mean, you think there's other, like, if you don't think pedophilia is happening on most islands, you're kind of out of your mind.
You're out of your mind, dude. You're fully out of your mind.
Why have a secluded piece of land?
Yeah.
If you can't do illegal shit.
Exactly.
You know?